Hello YouTube, today we'll be looking at Gotham Season 3. Now I already put something up about this, but just in case for whatever reason you thought I was lying, there will be spoilers in this, so you have been warned. So yeah, a lot happened this season. A whole lot of things. Of course, I can't spend this whole video just talking about what happened this season, so we're going to be going through this stuff pretty quickly. I've made a little picture for my own reference of just the topics that were the most important this season. So yeah, let's just go in order. First off, I put monsters. I was very vague when I started writing this. So yeah, there are monsters. Remember all the monsters that got out of Indian Hill? Yeah, they're all out now, and for a total of like 3 whopping episodes, and then they just leave. So glad that happened. But there's also an election going on where the Penguin is running for mayor against some guy who also has a criminal record, just a smaller one. And of course, Gotham, being the smart town that it is, they decide, let's go for the crime boss who is also a well-known murderer. Because Gotham is stupid sometimes. So yeah, the Penguin's now mayor. Okay, so yeah, also Jim and Lee's relationship, yeah, it's not really going that well. After everything that happened last season, Lee left Gotham, and yeah, she got engaged to another guy, Mario, who I will bring up later. And also, after all of that stuff happens, the Mad Hatter enters the picture, as well as his sister, Alice Tetch, who has magic blood that brings out the worst in somebody or just immediately kills them. Yeah, this show was kind of weird. So, yeah, anyway, she dies immediately, but the Mad Hatter is pretty pissed about that, so he goes on a bit of a rampage until he's brought to Arkham. And yeah, Alice's blood is still around, so it starts infecting people left and right. Because, you know, this girl that no one really knew, obviously she just infects everybody. I mean, yeah, okay, they do show some of the people and how they got infected, like Mario. Yeah, he got infected, and, well, I can kind of buy into how he got infected. I still found that just to be very cheap. But anyway, I'll bring that up later because it was boring to me. So, then Oswald falls in love with Edward Nygma. Just why? Why do we need that? Was anyone saying, you know what I want? I want to see the Penguin be gay. Was anyone saying that? Like, was anyone out there just saying, I want to see the Penguin fall in love with the Riddler? No real reason to this. I just want to see this happen. And yeah, Gotham said, well, I heard your cries. I will now answer them. And yes, this show does still give some good moments with Oswald at this point in the season, but it goes on for a while, and I just didn't care. So yeah, that was pretty boring. And then Edward Nygma falls in love with Isabella. Who is Isabella? She's a girl who's pretty much an identical clone of Christian Kringle. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that Hugo Strange also made a clone of her for no real reason. He just got very bored one day and decided, hey, you know how I made a clone of Bruce Wayne? Yeah, I should make one of Christian Kringle, that one random girl who was in the GCPD at one time. Something I really need to do. And hey, she actually has a thing for riddles, and she's actually just like Ed in some ways, minus the little, you know, homicidal parts. But yeah, they're perfect together. And then she dies in a car accident because Oswald got jealous. Yay. So then Bruce sort of starts to look into the Court of Owls, something that was teased last season, though never really gone into in any depth. But yeah, now they're going much more into that. So Bruce sort of starts to look into them, but is told to back off by the court. Because obviously, this kid, he's gonna destroy your whole enterprise that you've been building up ever since Gotham was created. Yeah, all that's just gonna go down the drain entirely because a kid. He's not even Batman at this point. Why are they worried? He's a kid in charge of a company and he doesn't really know what to do with it. Why are you so afraid of this kid? But yeah, anyway, after that, a Bruce clone shows up. Yeah, and then he leaves. And then he just joins the Court of Owls just because. Yeah, he comes back later, but really he's in and gone in like 2 episodes. So glad that we had that. Also, Ivy comes back. Yeah, for those of you who might be wondering, well, I haven't seen this show. That's why I watched a video on it. So, what happened to Ivy? Well, yeah, I didn't really talk about this, but during the whole monsters thing, Selena Kyle was kind of working with them because she wants to join in every single gang in Gotham. Seriously, what is her deal with that? Why does she want to join every gang? But yeah, she joined the Monsters gang, and yeah, Ivy was a bit worried about her, so she came out to try and help her out, even though she wasn't really in any trouble. And then she aged because there was a guy that can make people grow older in there for reasons. Again, I guess Hugo Strange got bored, and yeah, then she was pushed down. Just pushed down the drain. And then she just came out again and was older now and is also homicidal now. Like, she kills a guy. Yeah, I don't get why she became homicidal randomly. It's just, I don't know, she aged. Obvious reason to become a murderer. I don't know. So, yeah, she's not really poison ivy level yet, but she's getting there. She's getting there. So, yeah, she came back. And some tension starts up between Bruce and Selena, mostly due to Selena's mom entering the picture, finding out that she's a lying a-hole, and Bruce having known about that the whole time, but wanted to spare Selena actually finding that out, which it turns out that was really pointless because she found out anyway. Then Barbara starts playing Ed because she knows that Oswald's the one who killed Isabella, and Ed still wants revenge for that. So yeah, she starts playing him in order to get what she wants. And I gotta say, even though I still don't like Barbara, I do actually like her in this arc. She is actually pretty interesting here. Then the Joker. Just a lot of Joker stuff happens. Like, there's a whole Joker cult, and they bring him back to life, which is weird. And then they also cut off his face, and then he staples it back on. And then he runs a circus. Obvious. Just obviously what he always wanted to do in his life. He wanted to run a circus. Of course. I should have known. Joker's biggest aspiration. I want to run a circus. I know that in this show he was in a circus at one point, but I don't really think he has good memories with a circus, seeing as, yeah, that's kind of where he killed his mom. So, yeah. Don't see why he wanted to run a circus, but for whatever reason he did. And during the mix of all that, Ed finally gets his revenge on Oswald. And he officially becomes the Riddler. If you guys saw my Season 2 vlog, which I'm sure most of you that are watching this video have not, I love the Riddler on this show. He is pretty much the villain that gets the most development over the course of the series, seeing him go from that awkward, nerdy, but still very nice guy in the GCPD's forensic department to a full-blown Riddler. I loved seeing this progression of him, and yeah, this is when we finally come full circle, and I really do love how it's done here, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And trust me, I will be talking about that more. And Jim tries to take out the Court of Owls from the inside because he knows about the Court of Owls now. His uncle is in it, his uncle dies, and yeah, now he kind of just, wants to take them out. Also, his dad has ties to it. Yeah, this show can be confusing at times. Bruce is kidnapped, and Bruce 2 takes his place. And this is where I thought that this was pretty weird. Bruce 2 is now working with the Court of Owls. and Bruce 1 is kidnapped by a guy who wants to take out all the Court of Owls. Did the Court of Owls just get very lucky when Bruce was kidnapped and they were just like, oh, well, he's gone now. We don't really want to question who took him just now. He's gone now. Okay, let's just use this as an opportunity. They act very surprised when they see that he's working with the guy who kidnapped him. So I'm assuming either he was kidnapped by the Court of Owls, it's just that the other guy just somehow got a hold of him at one point while he was knocked out, or they sent him to a guy who wants them all dead. Either way, that's a very stupid plan. But then again, the Court of Owls isn't really that smart. I'll explain why later. Anyway, Bruce is brainwashed with magic. Yep. So then the GCPD tries to take out the Court of Owls' weapon. Yes, they have a giant weapon, which is pretty much Alice Tetch's blood, which the court just wants to infect everyone in Gotham with. They're gonna protect the court, of course, but yeah, they pretty much said, yeah, Gotham's pretty hopeless right now. Let's just give up on it entirely. And that's pretty much what they do. So, yeah. Magic blood is now sprayed everywhere. Woo! Yay! Magic blood. So, yeah, the show's kind of weird. Magic blood. So, yeah, really, magic blood. Why was there magic blood in this show? I mean, it's not like I didn't find this arc interesting at all. It's just, why? So, yeah, magic blood bomb goes off, and the town is kind of nuts for a while because everyone has now had the worst of them come out because that's what this blood does when it doesn't kill you. Yeah, this blood works kind of weird. It's only killed one guy. And they never explain why he died. He just died from the blood. Did he have a bad reaction to it? Why does no one else have a bad reaction to it? Did he have a different blood type which ended up doing that? If so, does everyone in Gotham have the same blood type and that's why they're infected? I really do want some answers on why one guy died from it, but everyone else just gets infected. Although, okay, so while all that's going on, gangs start to butt heads. And yeah, those gangs, Barbara's gang, it even starts butting heads from the inside, with Tabitha and Butch going against Barbara. The Penguins gang, which is now him, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Firefly. The last two of which have not been that present this season. So yay, I'm so glad they came back for like 3 episodes. That's nice. So yeah, they're back. And also the Riddler, just the Riddler. I mean, I guess you could count him as being a part of Barbara's gang, but he kind of isn't. He's kind of on his own. So, yeah. Kind of surprised that he got as far as he did, seeing as he was just all by himself. So, yeah. All that happens, and well-known characters start becoming who we all know them as. Especially Butch. Just so you guys know, I found this moment to be really awesome. Butch is revealed to be Cyrus Gold. If you guys don't know who that is, there's a little poem that answers that. Born on Monday, Christianized on Tuesday, married on Wednesday, took ill on Thursday, grew worse on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. That was the end of Solomon Grundy. Yeah, Solomon Grundy. They're really teasing that here. This show is great sometimes. Actually, a lot of the times. So yeah, this whole season, a lot happened. And I gotta say, it was kind of a mixed bag for me at times. There were a few arcs that I either found didn't really matter in the end, like Lee's relationship with Mario. Yeah, I said I was gonna bring that up. I ended up forgetting all about it. Pretty much Mario got infected, jealousy came out, and then Jim shot him, and then Lee was just being really whiny and annoying about it. In fact, she was like that most of the season. Why was she like that? But yeah, anyway, yeah, there are arcs like that that are just why? Why did anyone care to see Lee being annoyed at Jim Gordon? Did anyone care about that? Was anyone saying, I need to see Jim and Lee's relationship be put to the test, even though it's been put to the test in the show a few other times? What was the point? And yeah, the Mad Hatter plot, well, I did like seeing the Mad Hatter on the show, and they did definitely do some very unique things with him. Yeah, there were times where I was just like, okay, can we see someone else now? Something else happening that isn't Alice Tetch's freaking blood? Then there's Alice Tetch's blood. Why Alice Tetch's blood? It was stupid. It's magic blood. Why do we need magic blood? And yeah, it just infects people and brings out the worst in them, unless you're the first guy that gets infected, who just sort of dies in a closet. But yeah, kind of boring. And really, Alice Tetch just sort of felt like she was there just to be used and not actually be a character. However, those are actually pretty much the only plot points in this season that I can actually say weren't all that interesting. Oh, that and Oswald being in love with the penguin, which I just found weird because, I don't know, I still find gay kind of weird. I know that's been around for a while now, but it's still weird to me and seemed kind of forced in this season. I mean, like, yeah, I know that it's probably just due to the penguin having never actually been in love with someone outside of his mother before, and do not take that as a weird way, but yeah, he didn't really love anyone else outside of that or have a good friendship with anyone else. Really, he just sort of used people as a means to an end. Ed was the first guy that he actually, well, you know, was friends with, so I just sort of saw that as, he might have taken his feelings for Ed a little bit too far than what he was actually feeling, just because, well, he hadn't experienced them before. That's just sort of how I interpreted it, and yeah, while I did find that interesting for the character, it's still really weird to see the penguin be in love with the Riddler. Really weird. But outside that, the penguin's still the character that I really enjoy. Yeah, I said in the last vlog, I really do love this character. Okay, the last vlog for Gotham, not my last one. My last one was on Arrow. But yeah, I really do enjoy the character of the penguin on this show. He's actually my second favorite character, just behind the Riddler. I really enjoy watching him, and seeing them team up together was awesome to me at first. But the gay thing just made it kind of weird, and actually, it was really weird. Yeah, there's nothing else to really say about that. I just felt uncomfortable while watching it. I just felt like it was forced in there just to be there, not to really actually be interesting. However, the rest of the arcs this season, I really enjoyed. Everything else with the Penguin, the Riddler's rivalry, and especially everything with the Riddler. I will talk about that later, though. Everything else going on with the monsters in the city, the Joker coming back, all that stuff I really loved watching, especially what happens in the last few episodes with Bruce getting brainwashed, which, by the way, I already said spoilers here, but by the way, when he stabbed Alfred, I paused the TV. I was so surprised. I just had to pause it and just take in what just happened. I was shocked. I mean, I was really shocked there. Just that scene. Man, I'm not even kidding. I was honestly very shocked by that scene when I first saw it. I mean, of course, now if I go back and watch it, I'll be like, okay, well, yeah, I know what's going to happen. I kind of already knew that he was going to use the Lazarus pit for him, but I gotta say, it was really a shock to me to see Bruce Wayne actually stab Alfred. That was a huge shock to me, and I found it just, wow, that was, oh my god, I don't think I've ever actually been this surprised about a TV show before. I mean, I knew they were going to resolve it, but man, it still surprised me. Mostly because Bruce Wayne and Alfred, they have a friendship that goes back to the very beginning of Bruce Wayne and everything with Batman. It goes back so far. And to see him stab him was just a shock. But hey, that's what snapped him out being brainwashed, so guess some good came out of it. So yeah, very surprising there. So yeah, the story this season, well, yeah, it does vary for me. Like, some things I found less interesting than others, like the Alice Tetch virus wasn't as interesting as the stuff with the Court of Owls mystery going on. So yeah, I really did find more things interesting in this show than I found to be negative here. Mostly because even if it is bad, they do still bring in good moments of actually making it intriguing. Probably the one that I found the most boring was Lee's. So let's talk about Lee. Why? Why was she so annoying here? I don't know if it's just me, but she was really annoying to me. Just every time we saw her this season, she's just complaining to Jim Gordon, "You ruined my life. You ruined everything. You killed my husband who was gonna kill me, and I don't believe you that he was gonna kill me for some reason, and magic blood and all this stuff, and I had a baby last season. What happened with that? Like, really, what happened with her baby? Did she get an abortion? They never show. Just, she had a baby, it's gone now. I don't remember if it was explained last season or not. You guys can let me know, but yeah. What happened with that? So yeah, Lee this season. She was just putting me to sleep. She got so boring and annoying. I just said, "Shut up! You're more annoying than Barbara right now." And I used to get really annoyed with Barbara. Speaking of Barbara, she's actually pretty good this season. Yeah, I enjoyed her here. Especially when everything going on with the Riddler getting revenge started up. That's really when she actually was shown to be an intelligent and interesting character much more, and I actually do like where they went with that. So yeah, Barbara was actually much more intriguing this season. And yeah, she was actually more intriguing than a character that I really liked last season, Lee. So yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad, but hey, that's something. Yeah. So yeah, Lee, very annoying. Very, very, very annoying. So yeah, let's just move past Lee. I think that I've expressed that I was annoyed with her enough. Then we got Mario, the guy that Lee was going to get married to. He's not really in this season that much. In fact, he's not even that much developed. He wasn't in any other season. The most interesting thing is that he's the son of a crime boss who's been previously established on the show, who's much more interesting than his son. So, yeah. Mario got infected with the Tetch virus, and oh, I wonder if I can just call it the T virus. That makes this whole season worth it. So, yeah, Mario got infected with the T virus, and yeah, he got jealous a lot, and then tried to kill Lee, then got shot up a bunch. Super interesting. So yeah, Mario, he was very boring this season. And really, I'm kind of upset that we spent like half of the season just for him to get shot. Really, there was no real development out of him outside. He was nice. Oh, he got infected with the T virus. He's jealous now. Even though he was already pretty jealous, so yeah. Not that much happens with him, and he was very boring. And then we got Firefly. I'm gonna talk about the non-important characters first. Firefly, she's there. She's actually gets some pretty nice moments near the end. Like, I did like seeing how much having friends who actually accept her meant to her and everything, especially due to her past. Although she's still not in this season that much, and yeah, I feel like that's kind of a shame. She could have been much more interesting here, but yeah, she's just not in it that much, which is really kind of disappointing. Then we got Mr. Freeze. See, I'm making up for not talking about him in my last vlog. See, I got an ice canister of his and everything. I really wish I did talk about him last time. So yeah, Mr. Freeze. Since I didn't talk about him last time, I guess I should do it here. He was actually very interesting in the last season. I posted a comment on it, and I posted a comment in my last vlog about Gotham because, yeah, I forgot to talk about him, and I'm actually kind of upset I didn't. They showed a much more human side to him, even though, yeah, okay, the character's origin already does have a human side to him. We also got to see more about his wife, which was interesting, and we got to know her a little bit better than other adaptations, and I actually found his story arc to be very interesting. Although I do wish that he was utilized more, which can be said tenfold for this season. He is barely in it. He's in the arc with the monsters as a side villain, and then he just leaves Gotham, goes into an ice cave to try and cure himself instead of killing himself. I thought that he wanted to die after Nora died. Why does he want to live again? But yeah, anyway, he tries to cure himself, and then the Penguin says, "Hey, I can cure you." And he's just okay with that. So yeah, he just goes and works with them. Yeah. Not really that interesting. It really is a shame that we don't get to see more of him on this show. They really did do him well here, and I like this version of the character. He's still as interesting as other adaptations, but he is also much more human in this show, even after getting his ice abilities. I do really like how that was done. Mostly what he wants is to get away from actually being a supervillain here and just to live a normal life. Oh, and by the way, his ice cave, freaking awesome. It looked great. So, yeah, I really do wish that he was utilized more here. It's just a shame that he wasn't. Then we got Hugo Strange. He's still the nutjob scientist. Though, compared to other villains on Gotham, it's kind of mellow. So, yeah. He's there. I can safely say that I have much more fun with him this season than I did the last one, because there he just seemed like he was trying to be way too serious all the time in a show where the Penguin killed a guy with gardening tools. Yeah. They were trying to be serious with this character. Why? I mean, he's already kind of over the top acted last season. Just go all the way with them. Just have him be fun. And they definitely do that a whole lot better this season. It's just that, yeah, he's still not that interesting. I mean, I definitely did find him better here. It's just that, yeah, still think that he could be so much more interesting than he was. And then we got Jerome. He's the Joker. He's pretty good as the Joker. He's definitely better than Jared Leto. But, yeah, compared to other adaptations of the Joker, he's kind of eh. I'm just indifferent about him. He's pretty good here, and I do like how they're actually taking a very different comic book storyline from the Joker than what's normally used. Like, they're going with the no-face Joker. I do like how they actually decided to do that. And even though I haven't read those ones, and yeah, I've seen that they are probably a lot darker than other versions of the character, which is saying a lot, seeing as he's an anarchist who just wants chaos. But yeah, he's alright here. I don't have anything against him. I think that he was a little bit too biased towards Bruce Wayne here, though. Like, he really wanted him dead just because he was that one kid that he was going to kill. Like, I guess he just really likes finishing what he started for no clear reason. But yeah, he was there. He's alright. Moving on. So then we got Frank Gordon. He's not in it that much, but he does have ties to the Corps of Owls, which makes him pretty interesting. I do like his relationship with Jim, and yeah, I do actually like how in the end, he was actually a good guy. Even though, yeah, he has had some bad things happen, bad things that he's done in the past, he did try and make up for it. And I do like how that was executed. He's an interesting character, but yeah, he's not in it all that much. But I do still like how he was done here. Then we got Valerie Vale. Poor Valerie. You were barely in this. Like, I'm pretty sure that she was in it for, like, what, 10 episodes? Maybe? Like, maybe 5? I really forgot. But yeah, after one of the attacks from the Mad Hatter, she is never seen or heard from again. That was disappointing. Honestly, I liked her character so much more than Lee this season. But yeah, I was really disappointed with how little she was utilized here. Especially since she got her own promo. And they don't even say her name in that promo. It's just a girl taking pictures. So yeah. So glad that they gave her so much attention, which she obviously needed. So yeah, she was pretty boring here. Then we got Barnes. I still really enjoy this character. I got to say it, I really like him. He's a very good police captain, and hey, I very much enjoy how his character has gone through over the years. He's just kind of interesting and just overall a nice guy. I enjoy him, but he does make the right decisions in being a good police officer. So I do like him here. And then he gets infected with the T virus. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that was unneeded and just another step to make Jim Gordon be who we all know that he's going to be eventually. Honestly, I kind of expected something to happen with Barnes. I just expected death to be the case, but nope. Infected with the T virus, and yeah. Just goes around and says everybody's guilty. Gotta say though, was more interesting than anything with Lee, and I will say that yeah, I did like seeing this character that I really did enjoy go down a darker path. Was interesting. It's just I feel like it's been done better with other characters on the show. Not trying to pick any in particular, but yeah, it's been done better with some other characters on the show, and yeah. I just feel like they really didn't execute it all that well. I mean, he's okay here, don't get me wrong. I do still like this actor's portrayal of the character. It's just not really all that interesting to me. It's just him running around saying, guilty, 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 everyone is guilty! And then getting institutionalized, and then getting a pretty stupid costume. And yeah, that's kind of it. So, yeah. So glad that was there. Then we got Jarvis Tetch. I liked him. For the most part. I mean, okay, he's not really in the show all that much. I would have liked a little bit of build up to him beforehand. But I gotta say, I did enjoy him here. The Mad Hatter overall is a very interesting character. I like what they did with this, with his powers, which are pretty much just hypnotism. And I do like how they executed him. He's an interesting character, and I liked him for the most part. To me, though, he dragged on a little bit too long. But, yeah, I do still like his character, and yeah, I enjoyed him for the most part. And then we got Butch. Butch is so much fun in this show. Butch and Tabitha, I just love them. They are so great. I love these characters. Honestly, Butch, he's just a fun character, and I just love watching him. We can see his loyalties always being tested, although no matter what, he sticks with what he personally believes in. And I do like that. He's a good character, I like him a lot, and I am very excited to see him come back as Solomon Grundy. Although, unfortunately, that means they probably won't be the same as who he was originally, due to Solomon Grundy kind of, being that guy who doesn't remember anything about his past outside of Born on Monday. So, yeah. Hope that he's still got that same character that I like to him. Although then again, I also want to see Solomon Grundy be portrayed accurately. So I'm kind of torn on this now. Couldn't he have just not gotten shot in the head and everything be okay? But yeah, anyway, I still very much like Butch. He's a great character. So then we got Tabitha. She's still a lot of fun here. Honestly, I've always loved Tabitha on this show, outside maybe in the first season a bit, but eventually she got more interesting. And yeah, here she's still the same great character. I like her relationship with Butch being developed a whole lot more. She's still freaking awesome, especially with that whip. And yeah, I did like actually seeing her relationship with Barbara being pushed to more extremes, even up to the point where they try and kill each other, and Tabitha succeeding in electrocuting Barbara. I really did like how that was done, and hey, I found it pretty interesting. They had been a very good friendship and work relationship for 3 years now, only to have that eventually all be shattered due to one of them falling in love with someone else. I found that to be pretty interesting, and this was actually an example of the gay characters on this show being done correctly. This is what I meant with the Penguin felt forced. Really forced to me. It just felt like that was a plot device and not actually done to make him interesting. Tabitha and Barbara are interesting as their own characters first, but they also are much more interesting together. That's what I like about these characters. That's why I find them interesting and fun to watch. They're insane. That's what they go with. You can even say that that might be the reason why they sometimes date. They have an on and off thing. And also a very open relationship, as Butch just lets Tabitha kiss Barbara sometimes, just right in front of him. Yeah, it's kind of weird how their relationship works. But anyway, it works well. They are fun to watch together. But that's really why I'm saying the Penguin was not done well this season. Or at least not for the first half of it. I would prefer it if it was something more like what Tabitha and Barbara had. But nope, instead he was boring. Again, I really did not find that interesting at all. Then we got Lucius. It's a lot of fun. I still very much enjoy him. He's still really funny on this show. And I do like his sarcastic wit about him. Also, I do like how he got more involved with the Riddler this season. It was actually a pretty interesting development that happened. I really didn't see it coming. But I can't say that I hate it for that. I actually found it very interesting. Seeing the Riddler be put up to someone who is just as smart and as good at with riddles as he is was interesting to me. Batman, to me, I always saw as someone who wouldn't really care about the Riddler. He's just a guy who tells riddles and causes some anarchy. And overall, it always seems like Batman's just one step ahead of him all the time. Lucius, it seems like they have much more interesting conflict, and I do like how that was done. They're on equal playing fields, and that's what I really like about them. They were a very interesting rivalry, and one that I really do hope is developed a little bit more as the show goes on. So yeah, Lucius this season was a lot of fun. Also, him filling in Ed's shoes as forensic scientist at the GCPD, I loved. So yeah, Lucius is freaking awesome. Nothing else to really say about that. Then we got Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, I kind of forgot that he was in the show, but yeah, he's in the last episode. For like a minute. Yeah, he's just sort of in there for that little, and then he just leaves. Now, I will say I do actually like him in this show, and he was done pretty well. It's just that, yeah, I think they could have been a little bit more foreshadowed than just, hey, this one guy who kidnapped Bruce Wayne just sort of led him to this, and yeah, that's kind of it. So, yeah, Ra's al Ghul, I'm interested in seeing how they develop him. And I do also like that they correctly pronounce his name. Seriously, a lot of people say it as Roz. It's Rosh. So yeah, I do really like how he was done here, but yeah, could have been in it a whole lot more. Then we got Ivy. I do like how they're actually developing her a whole lot more into actually becoming Poison Ivy. It's actually a very interesting step, and I do like how it was done here. It's just that, I don't know, I feel like I would have preferred it if she had stayed around the same age as Bruce. I think that would have actually made one of the characters, you know, actually being his age. You know, like most of the Batman villains are supposed to be. That's kind of the problem with the show being an origin for Bruce Wayne. It means that there would have to be a lot of villains entering the picture in order to make the show more interesting, which of course they do, and they do it very well. It's just that, yeah, all these characters are probably gonna be like 40 or something when Bruce Wayne finally does officially become Batman. So, yeah, kind of not gonna work out that well for him to be fighting them, but I mean, like, okay, yeah, 40's not that old, but still, I'll be pretty older than him. And Ivy was kind of the only one that actually saw, like, hey, this could actually work. And heck, they're actually sort of friends. That would make it even more interesting. She aged. Thanks for that. So yeah, honestly, I don't really feel like that was needed, but I do still like her progression here. And while yeah, they do kind of make her an idiot this season, I do think that she will get a whole lot better as the show goes on, and I'm interested in seeing how they do that. Then we got Fish Mooney. She's in this season, she's out of the season, she comes back, she helps out the Penguin, that's pretty much her thing. Yeah, she's not really developed all that much outside. She's a monster now with weird powers of touching to control people. And yeah, not all that interesting. So yeah, moving on. Then we got Alfred. I still love Alfred on this show. He's a very interesting character overall, and I still very much like how he was done here. The fact about him being a war veteran makes him even more interesting, and I do like his relationship with Bruce Wayne being pushed to the test here, especially with what happened at the end. Alfred got stabbed. But yeah, it was a really great and actually very well executed ending for him, and I do like that. Well, yeah, he did survive, which kind of took away a bit of the punch to me. I do still find it a very good moment, and it did make him a much more interesting. And I do still think that he's a very interesting character, and one that, just like Lucius, is very funny, and I do very much enjoy watching and following this character evolve some more. So yeah, Alfred Pennywise, still freaking awesome on this show. Then we got Bruce Wayne's clone. He's not that interesting. He's just a clone of Bruce Wayne. And while they do bring up some interesting sides of him, with him having this thing where he can't really live all that long, and also him trying to find out who he really is, seeing as well he's a clone. So yeah, he's kind of already somebody, but also not. That's what made him a bit more interesting in my eyes. Just that he's not in the show enough to actually be developed fully. Then we got Bruce Wayne. Yeah, he was good here. Now, of course, I did find him much more interesting near the end of the season, where, yeah, okay, everything with the brainwashing, a lot of people could probably say, yeah, that's pretty stupid, and, yeah, you might be right in some ways on that, but I actually found it pretty interesting. It did make him a much more interesting character in my eyes on the show, and I do like how it was executed here. Also, wow, Bruce Wayne's actor is really good in this, especially after he stabbed Alfred. I really found that moment to be genuine, and I really enjoyed it. I seriously loved watching this guy's acting here, and he did a great job with the character this season. And yeah, like I said before, everything going on with him and Alfred was actually very interesting, and I like how it was done. Also, now he's taking a whole lot more steps in actually becoming Batman, which is actually pretty interesting. I'm glad they're finally going somewhere with that, instead of having him just sort of, learn how to fight a little bit and finding a cave. So I do like how they are actually showing him becoming more intelligent and more of a detective, and also actually finally meeting some of his arch nemesis. Nemesis, whatever. Okay, he met the Joker for the first time, and I did actually very much enjoy that. That's also where his no killing rule came in on this show. So yeah, well, I do think that, yeah, it would have kind of made sense for him to have already had the no killing rule, and he kind of already did in this show, but yeah, I do like how that is the very first rule he ever makes for himself as Batman. And yeah, I do very much enjoy how it actually happened. So yeah, Bruce Wayne here, really good this season. That's coming from someone who's not that big of a Batman fan. Then we got Selena Kyle. She is seriously becoming Catwoman here. I like the progression of this character. I still find her to be very fun. I liked how everything with her and Bruce isn't just, they're good friends. No, there is actually some tension being pushed in between them now, and it's actually executed pretty well. Like I said before, she just sort of seemed like a friend to Bruce Wayne that was sort of developing a relationship, and that's not really what Catwoman is. Yes, they are friends, and yes, they do have an on-off relationship, but here's the thing, there's a reason why it's on and off. So I do like how it was actually being finally expressed in the show a little bit more. It makes her much more interesting in my eyes, and I do like how it was done. Also, seeing her finally start to use a whip, really awesome. So yeah, Selena Kyle this season, I very much enjoyed and still find her to be a very fun character. Then we got the Court of Owls in general. They are a secret organization, cult, whatever, that somehow has never been noticed by anybody else in Gotham, and if they do, then they just cover it up, and they're alright. Now, of course, there's a leader of the Court of Owls, which I could talk about, Catherine. She's okay. I liked her. But, yeah, the Court of Owls, to me, itself is just its sort of own character, and I do like how they were executed. There was a lot of good build-up to these guys, and I do like the mystery surrounding them. It's just that I feel like they were taken care of a bit too quick. Just, the guy who brainwashed Bruce Wayne comes in and just sort of kills them all. Just like that. And, yeah, then they're just gone. So glad that was there, and very well developed as it was. So yeah, the Court of Owls, I like them. They do have a lot of mystery surrounding them, but they were just taken care of a bit too quick in my eyes, especially for all the build-up that happened with them this season. Then we got Harvey. I enjoy him. He's still a very fun part of the show, and much more of the comedy of this show, but yeah, I do still see him as a guy who very much takes his job very seriously. And for him taking the role of Barnes after the T-virus infects him, I did actually find that to be a very interesting progression for the character, and yeah, I actually very much like how he took the role. And I'm interested to seeing as where it goes next season, as yeah, he's still in that position. I really do enjoy him in there. It's just, I'm very surprised that was him and not Jim. Seriously, I thought it'd be Jim. But yeah, Harvey, I really very much enjoyed this season. He's still a lot of fun to me. Then we got the Penguin. I've already brought my thoughts on the gay thing, so moving on from that. Overall, though, he is still a very fun villain, and I do very much enjoy him. And yeah, there are moments where we do step away from the gay thing even while it's going on, and we do get some much more fun moments with him still during that. And him teaming up with the Riddler was awesome to me at first. I really did love it. It's just that the gay thing kind of felt forced to me, and yeah, it wasn't really needed. Then the Riddler. The Riddler. I love the Riddler on this show. I very much enjoyed it this season as well. Now, while I do think that Isabella being introduced this season wasn't all that well done, just like, okay, I liked Isabella, it's just, yeah, I knew that she was gonna die, and the show kind of knew that too, but yeah, I do still like how he was executed here. He's a very interesting character still. I really do enjoy watching him. I love seeing how he's actually progressed on this show. Like I said before, he is one of the villains that has progressed on the show the most. For being a guy who was, well, actually just a very nice guy, if not very weird, at the GCPD, to becoming an insane criminal running through Gotham. And I found the progression of that to be very interesting. And I was so sad when he got frozen. Why did so many characters die in the season finale? But yeah, honestly, I really did like the progression of him here. He was very interesting. Actually, seeing him finally take on the persona of the Riddler was awesome, especially seeing as I've been following this show for a while now. And I do very much like how it was executed here. So yeah, the Riddler, he is still my favorite character on the show. I love Corey Michael Smith's portrayal of the character. And yeah, I'm super interested in seeing where he goes next season. And I could probably talk about this character more, but we're kind of running out of time here. So yeah, let's wrap this up with Jim Gordon. I'm sorry, Riddler. I've probably talked about you all day. He was great this season, by the way. Also, one thing I forgot to mention earlier with him, they do have a very nice moment in the car in the episode Primal Riddle, where when the Riddler and Jim start talking about, really to me was the moment where, well, Edward Nygma was at his nicest and most normal. The scene where him, Christian Kringle, Lee, and Jim were all having a meal together. The scene was very quick, but I do like how it was actually brought back. It does actually let you remember when he, well, was actually not insane. It actually does really get you to show how much this character has gone. And yeah, actually, it's a pretty tragic moment, and I do like how it was brought up again. That was a very nice scene, and I very much did enjoy it. Like I said, the Riddler's my favorite character on the show because of moments like that. He's very well acted, very well progressed, and very interesting. So then we got Jim Gordon. He's still good here. I mean, okay. Yeah, still not the biggest fan of him on this show. I mean, like, yeah, okay, he's still a good character, and I enjoy him. It's just, compared to all the others, he's not all that interesting. It's just sort of the straightforward cop, and, well, yeah, I do like that about him. Doesn't really add for that much character to him. And that's probably the biggest problem with him this season. Although I will say they definitely did develop him a whole lot more, bringing up things with his past, like his father and everything. And also him taking on the Court of Owls and everything going on with Lee. I do still like Jim Gordon on this show, it's just that he's not the most interesting out of all the other characters on it. So, for the season overall, I enjoyed it. This season, to me, is when the show is really taking advantage of how fun it is. Really, they just sort of know how absurd this show is at this point, so they're just going to take advantage of it and just have a lot of fun. And it was a great season to watch. I had a lot of fun watching it. It was really good and still had some very nice, tragic, and interesting moments. I do still like how that was executed, and I'm very excited for the next season. So, yeah, there are a lot of things to look forward to. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. This was a great season. If you're not watching Gotham, I highly do recommend it. It's a very good show, and, well, yeah, the first half of the first season is very slow. After that, it does get much more interesting, and it's seasons like this that are definitely a reason why I'm still watching it. So, yeah, this was overall a very good season. Well, yeah, it did have some pretty lackluster moments. I did still find it to be a very interesting season and one that I very much enjoyed. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.